One action.
So, someone on Twitter said during the week they wanted you to use describe your favorite Transformer in 5 words. So my response was, that piece goes where?
Obviously, you're alluding to the third party market.
Yeah, probably. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's a nice, intimate little group. It's just Brad and myself tonight. Welcome to Australian Transformers Weekly. We are bringing you Transformers news from around the world. Maybe a little bit from Australia. I don't know. Actually, Toys R Us is basically dead, so there's probably very little news from Australia. This is episode 161. We are recording live on August 3rd, 2018. In this episode, we'll be talking about another massive bot on the way, and people around the country are having to find new and creative places to display their bots, given the size of everything that's coming towards us. A couple of new Masterpiece releases that got revealed this week, and a new one that is available to purchase right now. Takara is going to reissue some big bots. They're not that big, they're just combiners. And there'll be a few more bits of news coming up after this.
That's Big Bot Week.
Yeah, it's been Shark Week, it's been Seeker Week, now it's Big Bot Week. All right, welcome to the show. As I mentioned in the intro, I'm Jason. Joining me this week is Brad. Everyone else is a bit of a no-show for this week. That's fine. We'll have them beaten into submission and have them return next week. How's that? Does that sound good?
Where's my whacking stick?
Hopefully it's lost next to your siren.
Oh, don't worry, I can find it. Yeah. No, how are we going, Jason? It's been a fortnight. We didn't have a show last week. I was at Nerdmania, which we'll get to some photos shortly. But it's been an interesting couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I'm going well. And you're right. It has been it's been a busy couple of weeks, as you can tell from the fact that I haven't actually shaved for a couple of weeks. I feel scruffy. Sorry.
Manly.
No, I just feel scruffy. It's I don't know. I feel like when I go outside in winter, like I feel somewhat protected. But also it's a Sydney winter, so it's like 25 degrees during the day anyway. How are you doing? I haven't heard much from you the last couple of weeks. Yeah, like are we still friends? We okay? We're right.
You complete me.
That's actually, you're not allowed to do that anymore because Vern Troyer died.
Oh, of all the things I could be controversial on this episode of that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's been busy. We've been flat out with memberships for the club. This is a good thing. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have far exceeded past years in membership sign-ups for July, which is good. Unfortunately, there's been a couple of admin issues that we need to sort out before we can give away that beautiful Warpath and Ultra Magnus. But we should get to that, and by the time this is out, those winners will be announced. So that's fantastic. Thank you to everyone that has supported the club by signing up to be a new member or a returning member. And we are looking forward to the future.
Rock on. Do you want to take us through some picks from Nerdmania? Now, I was a bit sad that I couldn't get to Nerdmania this year. I was actually in Melbourne during the weekend of Nerdmania, but my sister was actually visiting from the UK, so I couldn't really take the weekend out to go to Shep. But show us how much fun on a scale of 1 to 10 was had.
It's been a slow year. We missed out on Comic Expo. We missed out on Comic Con Melbourne. So this was the first major. Someone's probably going to correct me on that. First major event for Victoria that we had this year, and Nerdmania Shepparton, where as a club, as a not-for-profit, and as a non-selling entity, we got 2 table spaces for nothing, and
Good on you, Mania. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. To have this space at any other convention would be fantastic. Like the biggest shame with this was we only had one day, so getting there in the morning, I pretty much dropped everything off that night before the event, just so it was there. We didn't have to unload cars in the morning, and even by 9:30, quarter to 10 o'clock opening, we're still loading shelves and displaying figures. So
is that the same venue as years gone by?
Yeah, yep. It's always been the same venue. So Simon brought a lot of his G1 stuff. He's the new owner of a Masterpiece Soundwave, which just looks fantastic with all the original Soundwaves. That is a rubber, or shall I say, an eraser. Oh, I can do that. That's an eraser, which is he was proudly saying on the day has pre-rub signs on it. So yeah, just fantastic. Having this Detolf, he had his Metroplex there for the mini bots on display as well, which is always a point of contention because I've normally got the Masterpiece B and some of the other MP figures on display, and he's always got the G1 versions. And people will point to that MPB and go, "Oh, I had that as a kid," until you point or sometimes correct them and say, "No, not quite."
But, well, I guess the correction's unnecessary if the G1 version is there to show off as well, right?
Yeah, yep. And we had the same thing with the Dinobots. But here I just sort of I done a bit pick and choosing from the Masterpiece collection. Obviously, a couple of the customs, couple of me World's Smallest, which I'll get to in new acquisitions, and some of our other Masterpiece stuff as well. Hot Rod there. I just Hot Rod with fishing pole. I can't sell it. I just love it so much. And the Simon actually got. I think it's not the X9. It's the Devil Star. Whoever made that.
I think he's had it for quite a while, actually.
Yeah,
a little while. Yeah.
His wife absolutely loves it, and I've tried twice to buy it off him, and he won't sell it because I think it's the better looking Astro Train than what the DX9 Chigurh, whatever you want to call it, is. But he had that on display on its metal tracks, and he also brought along the Combiner Wars Devastator, and my son done some posing. And
did he actually use Devastator or Menasor?
Yeah, Menasor. Oh, wow! Don't even know why I said that, but yeah, he got some playing around with it, and pretty much posed it in a way that it doesn't fall over, which is good. But
I believe there's only two. I believe there's only two ways to pose him in a way that doesn't fall over. This is one, and just with you standing straight up with arms and legs unbent is the other. So good on him for finding that.
Yeah, leaning against the back of the case. But yeah, that's that was the Mania. It was great. We got to see one member, Jonathan, that he won a $900 3D printer on the day. So congratulations to him. And yeah, got to meet a lot of Transformers fans, got to discuss a lot about Transformers. And after 7 months, it was just great to get back in the convention mode again.
Yeah, cool. So I am heading to TF Nation in a couple of weeks, and well, as I say in Birmingham in the UK, I have been told that it's Birmingham.
I wasn't going to go there, but
yeah. So I'll be off to mingle with the world's Transformers fans for the first time. I am super looking forward to it, and I'll be. Look, you'll probably get sick of me posting photos to the group from TF Nation, but
do it.
I'm so going to flood the group with photos.
It's better someone in the group that does it than someone just sharing photos from someone else. Copying them.
So yeah, well, let's see. In terms of podcast business. I will probably be off again next week, and then I'll be in the UK the following week. So it's probably my last podcast for 2 or 3 weeks, but I'll certainly be around. Yeah. Shall we get to some news and some bot shots?
Oh, what a shot!
What a shot indeed! This has been sitting. If you've been watching the YouTube video, it's been sitting in the camera switcher, waiting for its time. So last week, Arvin Trinidad took out the competition for July, and this week he's taken out the first week of competition for August. If you want to make my screen embiggened.
What's going on there? There we go.
Aha. So now, Arvin clearly has taken this on a proper camera. But actually, no, you know what? I'm gonna revise that. I actually reckon he might have taken it on an iPhone because I can see a little bit of telltale artifacting around the gun where I think it's pulled focus to do the sort of bokeh effect with the background blue. But it looks fantastic. It's a great photo. Really nicely composited. Really nice and bright. Colors pop. It's fantastic. I have a feeling that's the Takara hardhead because
it does look a little bit more painted.
It is a little bit more painted. His head has a mouth, and so it's either the Takara one or it's one of the Wei Jiang oversized ones, but I think it might be the Takara one. So good on you, Arvin. It's a great shot, and it just shows how much of a pose you can get out of the Titans return figures because. Just all it takes is a couple of moves around, and the Titans return figures, being that they're all headmasters, their heads are a little bit loose and can be moved around and positioned a little bit nicely for photographs as well. So, very well done. Very well done.
I'd love to know how to rack focus like this and just blur that background.
What kind of phone have you got?
A 6S.
It's got 2 cameras on the back.
No,
it's going to be what you need because it uses one camera to take a blurry shot and the other to take a focus shot, and then it combines them.
So this might be a 10x or an X.
It's probably a 7 or an X.
Okay, yeah. No, it looks fantastic.
Or any other number of phones that have two cameras on them as well. My Huawei has 3, so it can do this stuff too. Yeah. It's regardless of the device, like it's a nice effect, well applied. Good on you, Arvin.
Yeah. And Tyson Richards, which is another one of our regulars, he tied for winning. I had to pick one. I picked this over his, but he had several Transformers bots and some other cars in the Ready Player One lineup to start a race. Which was also a fantastic photo. So good work, Tyson.
No, I don't think I actually looked at the bot shots thread this week. I feel terrible. Sorry.
It's still there. Go to the group. You can see all the photos.
Could have been the deciding vote. Oops. Oh well. Anyway, shall we move on?
Let's.
Before we get to the news, we do need to talk about a little bit of news. Masterpiece Dinobot is out. He's out. He's available. He's all over the place. He's turning up everywhere. And as you can see, 6-0 from the UK, whom I shall hopefully be meeting at TF Nation. 6-0 has been taking some photographs of Dinobot with another Cyberverse Dinobot in the pub. And look, he's definitely looking good. And there's his beast mode as well. Even the beast mode looks great. So. Yeah. Now.
Yeah, my supplier, he messaged me on Tuesday to say he's in stock. And unfortunately, I didn't get him shipped this week, but he's coming. He'll be here by next Friday.
Indeed. Well, so there are some people in the group who are getting him now. I've heard the box is actually surprisingly small given the size of the figure. It looks like he might be compressed down a little bit to fit into a decent box. You can see how the box looks there from a post from Pen Chan. And we also, Dinobot's been a little bit controversial because of his price. Now, most of the local sellers are selling him for $330, and that seems to be the price across the board. But one member of the group went to Hong Kong this week and found Dinobot going for $250 in Hong Kong.
Oh wow!
So like, good. It's a good find. It's given me a little bit of hope that I might be able to find him somewhat cheap as I head off to TF Nation. Maybe since I'm going through Singapore for a few hours, I'll see whether or not there's any sellers in Singapore doing him cheap. We'll see how he goes. So look, there's a lot of MP Dinobot out there. He's a fantastic looking figure. You would really hate for anything bad to happen to him. Really, I mean that would be horrible. Oh no. Oh dear. That's a bit unfortunate. Someone appears to have let their child at Dinobot, and yeah, the results are a little bit unfortunate. Well, anyway, that's a good sign for something not to do when you get new masterpieces, and you getting new masterpieces is something that you are going to be doing in the next sometime in the next few months, maybe. I'm not actually sure. So last week Wonderfest was on in Japan, and I believe that was the official release of Takara Tomi's Gold MP10, which could well be the last version of that mold. And on their stand, they revealed a new masterpiece that they had not even teased, hadn't shown off at all.
Because I'll get to it in a minute.
They had teased it?
Remember last year when we had a silhouette of this?
Yes, but it was fan made. We know it was
I know. We had this. I think there was a Jazz and a Galvatron as well. But it just seems like, wow, this was teased and now all of a sudden it's here. Which it was not in prototype like Prime. This is in color.
No, so this is the thing, that the prototype stuff is new for Takara. Like I don't think they've generally been showing their prototypes until the last couple of years. And I think it's kind of a response to the fact that everyone else is showing their prototypes. But this guy did not get a tease, did not get a prototype. He's just right there on the stand. So I don't know, maybe Hound's a bit of a surprise. Maybe he's going to be coming out sooner than we think.
I think he's going to be pre-MP, the MP Prime redo. He looks further along. We've completely moved past the silhouette of upcoming bots.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, he looks pretty finished there. Now, we've seen bots turn up looking pretty finished before, and they've still taken months to appear. Yep. And I don't think this guy will be any different. Like, you got to remember, we are actually in the back half of 2018 now. So I don't know what masterpieces we're going to have to sort of fill in time. We've got Masterpiece Beast Wars Megatron coming in 2019, we know. So back half of this year, I don't know, we've got Hound. What else?
Well, there's Dinobot coming out now. I don't think anything else has been announced for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So you never know. Maybe Hound will be a little bit of a surprise. He might come out later this year. We'll see.
Late November, maybe.
But he's looking great. He's looking very cartoon-like. Obvious comparisons will be drawn with the Fans Toys Willis. I think in most cases Takara's aced Willis, but there's a couple of things where Willis still sort of wins in the comparative stakes. Like the engine block at the front of Hound looks way better on Willis, but it's a different design ethos. So,
well, I've been talking to a couple of people, and this doesn't seem as cartoon accurate.
It does.
As what we've seen. It does.
It does to me. Look at the legs.
Yeah, and the legs and that, but just the body, the hood, the torso, and the feet just don't seem.
So I believe his alt mode is officially licensed from Jeep. So I wonder if that's got something to do with it.
Yeah, could be.
But like his forearms, his gun, his hair, the missile, I mean, like that all looks straight out of the cartoon with, a few bits here and there connecting things up, which that's the masterpiece ethos now. Like you can see Sunstreak and Extreme, you can see all of this stuff around his shoulders and everything. And it's like, that's just how masterpieces work. There's nothing wrong with it. You can see the Autobot symbol on his left. I don't even know what that is. The left of his chest looks slightly
wheel arch, wheel guard or something, but
yeah, left mud flap.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he looks like he's got a decent waist swivel. He may have an ab crunch. He's definitely got a knee swivel. That one's quite unusual, actually.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm looking forward to it. I reckon it looks good.
I wonder if there's any sort of collusion here between this and the Bumblebee movie, because paint this yellow and put that Bumblebee head on top of it, and it looks almost identical to that last shot we see of Bumblebee in that trailer, where he's in that original.
I don't think so. I think it's a very different Jeep design on Bumblebee in the movie.
Okay.
Anyway, you can also see Prime from the groin downwards. That actually gives an interesting sense of scale to how big Masterpiece Prime is going to be. And given that Sunstreaker is on his knees, like standing up, Sunstreaker is probably going to come up to Prime's chest.
Is that Ratchet to the other side that we don't see all the bot of?
I think it. I think it's either going to be Ratchet or Corden. But I think it looks pretty ratchety with the feet.
Yeah. So that Prime's a big monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I've got Willis. I don't.
You don't have to buy it. No one's.
I know. It's
not like that time I forced you to go out and get a webcam.
No, that's just Willis is the perfect hound for me. I don't see this as an improvement at all, and I'm no longer Hasbro can. Yeah, I don't need to get that.
So I've got Make Toys Gundog on my shelf, and like they're different interpretations of the character, just like Willis is as well, and. I'm a Masterpiece collector, so I'm going to get it, and just like it looks good. I'm quite happy for it.
Yep. No, it'll be good to see in the next few weeks how I was seeing the alt mode, seeing the other modes, seeing of course we're going to get a shot of its back to see the backpack.
Yeah, so you can't really make it out in this shot, but it looks like his head is placed on the bonnet via a connector that sits across the bonnet from his back.
So is his gun.
Well, so that happens a lot with shoulder mounted weapons for Transformers, but the head is interesting because we haven't really seen that many figures where the head is just sort of placed there like that, and it's not really going to make a difference if you display your figure just standing there in bot mode, but it's an interesting design decision, and I wonder again whether that actually speaks something to the licensing, like being unable to break the bonnet or something like that.
Yeah, I was meant to check out Willis before we started just to see what he actually does, because I don't know how his head comes through the bonnet or what have you, but it's sort of one of those things.
It does if you try hard enough.
But yeah, I just you do get a lot. There are a lot of people that are sort of engineering. If engineering is not there, if it's pretty simplistic, they don't like it. But
I think this guy has the engineering. Like the current Masterpiece line is tending towards more complicated transformations, and like it's actually quite difficult to get a character to transform from a Jeep to a robot and make him look like he does in the G1 cartoon from 30 years ago. So, I think they've done a fairly good job with this by the looks of it.
Yeah, my only sort of callback from this would be the alternator's hand, where you have that just flap open up and the head pops up, and then you've got the open space around the neck, which doesn't look that good. So,
yeah, I caught a little bit of discussion in the group of people saying, "Oh, I'm going to stick to alternator's hand." It's like, fine, but I think if you put alternator's hand up next to this guy, you will find him fairly lacking. There's about 20 years of that's not right. It's not 20 years. It's about 15 years of engineering prowess between alternator's hand and or Binaltech hound even, and Masterpiece hound. So like, there's going to be no contest between them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like there's been a couple of new fresh alternators posts in the group recently, and alternators were fantastic figures for what they are, and Hound, I just love Hound and the transformation there and the Jeep mode, but it's sort of it's new. It's not 80s. It's sort of 90s vehicles, and they look fantastic, and they might be the perfect Transformer, but it's not the G1 character at all. So.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. There's one other masterpiece reveal from this week that we should talk about very quickly, and that is so this one is actually sending a few waves of excitement around the around the Transformers community. Masterpiece Wheeljack in plus colors. Now, there's a really good reason for this. The Masterpiece Wheeljack that we have at the moment does not have the blue windscreen. His colors are not quite there if you're looking for a cartoon accurate Wheeljack, and this is going to fix the problem. Now, Takara talked about reissuing Masterpiece Wheeljack a few months ago, and it seems in the meantime they've decided to do the plus colored version instead. So we've had at least one dealer in Australia who said, look, if you've pre-ordered the MP20 reissue, you're going to get the plus one. So if you don't want the plus color, then you're going to have to go and seek out a secondhand one or find him somehow. But yeah, no, look, there's a lot of people really looking forward to this one.
So don't pre-order the new Prime. Wait 6 months because there'll be a plus one that comes out with blue windows.
Always, they're always going to do that.
I don't. MP Wheeljack is one figure I'm not looking at selling at all, but they're just doing the light blue windows. Like there's no streamline.
There's some slightly changed paint jobs as well, and that's the point of the pluses is to make them more cartoon accurate.
If you're going to do more cartoon accurate, fill in some gaps. Do some re-engineering on the legs.
Repaints, Brad. They're not new machines.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Man, you're full of hate for Masterpiece and Takara and everyone.
Full of hate. I'm just saying. Fill in some gaps.
Whatever. I think
Hound's supposed to be G1 cartoon, yet he's still got the whole back of the car folds down to his feet, just like Fansoys does, and there's no cartoon accuracy there whatsoever. But yet, here we go. We're just going to do blue windows, and we done a couple weeks ago. We had I think it was Prowl.
Yep, there's a
and the other pluses. Yeah, the other pluses is just a straight up window repaint. No, it's not even repaint. It's just we're going to put blue plastic in there instead of clear. If you don't have the mold, then yeah, fair enough. Like it's MP Wheeljack is great. He's the pre-cartoon accurate designs before Ultra Magnus, where they went to the more boxier, less detailed figures. But yeah, it's not something I need to get. You're muted. You're muted.
I am muted. That's fine. I'm going to move on. Let's talk about this dude. So this is Mega Action Soundwave. Now, the guys doing Mega Action. What's their name? I'm not sure.
MAAS.
That's the It's Mega. MAAS, whatever they are. So these guys they've done a Mega Action Prime and a Mega Action Megatron. That generally just means that they're huge. Now, the next one is Soundwave. So this is apparently a full color prototype. He does come with a fun Guardians of the Galaxy reference in. Well, actually, I don't know if he comes with it, but they've placed a fun Guardians of the Galaxy reference in his chest there. The Awesome Mix Volume 2. Now this guy's super detailed while still retaining his G1-ish roots. He comes with a laser beak that does appear to actually transform. Released tentative 2019. No price info, but I think if you look at the price of the others, they're all $350 or so thereabouts.
Oh no, they're about 150, 160 for the Prime at least. Yeah, the Prime was.
Fair enough. I thought they were way more expensive than that.
No, inflation might have bumped them to 200, but I can't recall.
I don't think inflation does that. I think scarcity does. Anyway, so there's lots of shots here. Megatron is in the background. They all these guys all look nice, but they all kind of look the same. Like there's it's all we'll if you look at Megatron's feet and Soundwave's feet there's just sort of the pistons inside and whatever it is that's holding his feet up. Like I feel like these guys might be working to a similar skeleton on every box and every bot, but just sort of changing the parts that are stuck to it.
Yeah, definitely. I do love that the fact they can take a full size cassette.
Yes.
In his torso, but I think we commented when Megatron came out a few months ago, as in who would be the next if they would do next, and I'm pretty sure John and Mikey come up with Soundwave, of course, but this is continuing, and now Jason, we get to do the same thing. We've got a Decepticon who in Autobot would stand up next to Prime against Megatron and Soundwave. I reckon
it'll be Rodimus.
Yeah, I could see a Shockwave. Another
I can see them doing a Shockwave as well.
But
maybe they'll do Grimlock.
Yeah, I don't think a Bumblebee would fit. Yeah, I don't think a Bumblebee would fit with this.
No, he'd be mini action.
Yeah, because these things are half a meter tall, so they are massive, and there's some awesome detail there. But they seem to, because they're licensed and have the ability to do what they want with the molds. You're not transforming them. They're not really G1. That's not.
No one cares.
Yeah, but
no one cares. They're just going to buy it and put it on a shelf.
Okay.
So you can see Prime's shoulder behind him as well, and then there's also Laserbeak transformed into. So Laserbeak does actually transform.
That's a good looking Laserbeak.
Yeah, it really is. It's almost as if they've copied the Ocular Max one. Shh. There he is. Actually, you know what? If anything, they've probably actually upscaled the Masterpiece one. See how he goes. And look, there's the shot from the back. You can see how his head's attached. Or not.
No backpack. Oh, there's some gaps there. Fail.
There's not going to be a backpack because it doesn't transform.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mega Action Series Soundwave, as we saw in one of the posts earlier, will be coming to a toy store near you in 2019. These aren't figures you put in a display. These are the definition of figures that you put in a display.
There's no display that would hold them. These things are sitting every side of your fridge in the kitchen.
I think they sit in a Detolf.
You reckon?
Yeah, pretty sure. Like people stick Fort Max in a Detolf.
Oh, yeah, you only gonna get two in there.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
what's that? Is it in a bowling alley? What's going on there?
It's at a trade show.
Oh, okay. Looks like a snack concession stand, but anyway.
No, it was someone else's stand opposite that's selling things. Oh. So there you go. You can see. That
does look good.
A little bit of detail on Laserbeak. I reckon he does look a little bit masterpiecey. The bits flipping around. Anyway, let's move on. We have been hearing a lot of stuff about the new Bumblebee movie in terms of Starscream / Blitzwing in the last couple of weeks. But we have seen, because of the because of Takara's exhibition at Wonderfest last weekend, we did see a new figure that Takara is bringing out for the line. Now, we say new figure because it might be new figure with air quotes because it's pretty clearly based on Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. Now, we have heard some rumblings that Optimus Prime is in the Bumblebee movie. We don't know what form he'll take, and I suspect it's kind of unlikely that he's going to be in his Evasion Mode form. But the important thing to notice about this is that this is not the same figure that Hasbro released a couple of years ago for Age of Extinction. He's not the Age of Extinction Evasion Mode Prime. That was a Voyager figure, and this is actually upsized. This is a leader class figure.
Oh wow!
It is actually like, much the same thing. Like, he is Evasion Mode Prime. It's the same mold, but he has been upscaled.
I did not know that.
Yeah. You know what? I say that, but the story text says that it's Takara Tomy Voyager Optimus Prime.
I've just seen that.
But I will just point out that, yes, no, it is it is in fact at least said to be upscaled. So we'll see.
Yeah, and we've seen some images of the I think it's the fast action battler toys from the film as well, where we clearly see a Prime in that his original Cabover Prime mode. So I don't know if they're just repurposing this to be in the film. We've sort of discussed before with Bumblebee movie if it's just going to be Prime on some sort of communique on a computer screen saying Bumblebee, go here and find Sam Whitby or whatever else, and that's what.
Well, so we do know a little bit about the movie. So Bumblebee's apparently fleeing Cybertron, which is why he's ended up on Earth. And so the question is, why is he fleeing Cybertron? There are Decepticons hunting him, and so that might be a little bit about why he ends up on Earth, and it also might be why Optimus Prime's in the movie, as he might be looking for him. He did, after all, say in the last night that he is his oldest friend.
I wonder if those photos up in the top right that there's some sort of head replacement or something where you got the faceplate and then the open face.
The open faceplate looks like Wreck-Gar.
It does.
So yeah,
but this looks fantastic, and I'd get rid of my evasion mode to get this. This looks even better than an evasion mode Prime. Detail aside, but it's a great looking bot. I really like the look of this.
He does look good. He's got a lot of chrome on him around the chest area as well.
It just fills in the gaps a bit. Like the chest seems more complete. You've still got sort of the evasion mode Prime hip down, but I like it. I really like it.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on to some slightly clearer, I guess, press shots. These are the more official images that have come out this week. So yeah, you can see a little bit more about him. There's less chrome than we saw on the version on the stand, and he comes with a trailer. That's
Look
new.
at that.
Does he come with a trailer, or is that just a?
That looks like the MP10 trailer.
No, you know what? I reckon it's not, because Evasion Mode Prime is smaller than MP10, and that trailer looks just about right for it.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Wow.
No, we'll see. We might be. Oh, there you go. There's the. Oh, wow. He's got Guru face. I didn't realize that Optimus Prime suffers from bitchy resting face, but there you go.
We'll kill them all.
So there we go. This version looks like he's got a little bit more chrome on the chest or the stomach, I guess. But it also that looks a little bit. Is that a different? Yeah, it's a different.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not. It's not a different piece than we saw there. Yeah, fair enough. It's just how the light catches it, or doesn't in fact catch it, because there's no light in that shot. But yeah, there you go. Now this does appear to be Takara's standard photographic backdrop. So I assume that these are official photos.
Yeah, well the figure does have a fake chest, which is chrome, which is why you got a not so chrome for the truck mode.
Well, the grill design is quite different on the truck mode.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, there we go.
Interesting to see how that head swap changed. How what is it? Just a clear head? Pop a head off and put a head on, or
I don't know. I reckon it looks to me almost like you just remove the centerpiece.
Yeah, that's a little piece to lose.
Yeah.
The windscreen wipers on that chest. Was it raining when he transformed or what? It's like when you turn the car off and the windscreen wipers are in mid-stroke.
Yeah, well, in Combiner Wars and Titans Return and Power of the Prime's been wandering around with a broken window in his chest for quite a while. So, anything we can do to stop that and mitigate that, if it means using windscreen wipers, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
no, it looks great. I'm really looking forward to the B movie figures. What we've seen so far looks fantastic, and whatever the Blitzwing, Starscream, Ramjet, Dropkick, Shatter bots are going to look like, I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah. Look, I am quite looking forward to the Bumblebee movie. It should be good. All right, let's move on. Small note: if you're looking for a Devastator, and I think anecdotally, a lot of people have actually said in the last few months that they are actually trying to find themselves a Devastator, a Combiner Wars Devastator, or if they have to go for Unite Warriors, they can do that. So Takara has this week announced that both Unite Warriors Superion, I don't know why, and Devastator are going to be coming back up for pre-order. Now, Superion is going to end up being about $135 US, and Devastator is $225 US. So, like, you're probably going to be looking at about 300 landed in Australia. But you know what? They are some great figures of the last few years, and Superion was the first combiner that we had unleashed on us in the Combiner Wars. So he's got a little bit of a special place in recent Transformers history.
As soon as 3 months ago, I was in a Toys R Us and they had like 3 or 4 Unite Warriors Superions there. So reissuing it, like, yeah, fair enough. You might want to get it cheaper, but if it's still more stock, going to come in through Toys R Us. So if you can get it from the Takara website,
if you can get it from Toys R Us, you're very lucky at the moment.
Yeah, or you might have got it for half price, but
possibly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't think Superion is the rarer of the figures. I think that's Devastator.
They're definitely Devastator. I think there's a lot of people that are still looking to get that Devastator figure, and it is worth having in your collection.
He is, as I cast a glance across to the shelf to my own. Now, Flame Toys. We talked a little bit about their STCC presence. Max posted some stories in the group showing basically Flame Toys just decided to do the entire G1 cast all at once. We saw them reveal this a couple of weeks ago. There's some really nice looking figures coming out of there, and this one, oh wow, yeah. This one looks pretty amazing as well. This is a very specific interpretation of Star Saber. Which is why he looks a little bit Gundam-y. He's much more much more based. I think it's so in the run sheet here it says Kuru Karakuri, Star Saber. Now I don't know who that is, and I'm probably going to be yelled at by people from home. I'm going to assume that it's the specific reference, because Flame Toys does bring some very specific designs to their figures, as it turns out, and we've seen IDW specific figures announced from them recently. So there's another shot there. Maybe that's So here's a little bit more some of the stuff that they've announced recently. So there's a prototype of Victory Leo there. Again, very somewhat anime manga-y comic style designs, and wow, oh, look at that guy. Yeah, so
it really makes you wonder. Like, a lot of people complain about the Bayverse movies, just how super detailed the bots are. Even it's not in news in the run sheet, but recently Prime One Studios has announced the Revenge of the Fallen Prime with the Jetfire add-on pieces, and it's just pieces on pieces on pieces on pieces, and hyper detailed. Like, every
centimeter of armor that they can add to him, they can add another $300.
And like, I think the difference here is where you've got more of a paint, like sort of more color, but it still sort of suffers.
I think these ones have a more specific influence that they're nailing the look of, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's sort of. It really takes me back to Zoids and the stuff like back there, where it's just super detailed, super panely figures, but you're sort of at that price where it's not a $200 statue. $200, I wish, a $2,000 statue. It's just it's hyper detailed. It's not super detailed. It's hyper detailed. And it just
I still see comic influence in the super detailed figures.
Yeah.
Because I think their proportions and a lot of the poses that you can strike with them, they're very inspired by comic art.
Yeah.
And this is more sort of based on victory in this case, and so it does have a much more manga influence. But some of the other stuff that Flame Toys has shown off is very specifically IDW style. Now, this is the stuff from SDCC, and so you can see Starscream and Prime here. I think kind of like the Mega Action series. It's sort of like they share a bit of base design or engineering to them, and then they're molding parts around that. But I really don't like that Prime. Starscream looks pretty good, but the IDW inspired Optimus sitting behind him there, that looks great.
But yeah, I think we've talked about that Prime before, about the hip thrusting and the weird angles and everything else. But the Starscream sort of fills it out more, and it's sort of, again, if I will go to the live action movieverse, people complain about the humanoid features of Transformers when they should be robots, but that's been present since G1, and even Starscream.
I haven't seen people complain about that.
Okay. But even like Starscream here it's a fantastic looking Starscream.
If you mean the human detailing, like things like having a beard on Hound, I think that's different than having humanoid features, right?
Well, no, I'm talking more lips and human faces, drift and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but no, that's a fantastic looking Starscream. You can see, like, even we talked about the coloured Prime, but even the uncoloured prototype Prime looks a lot more. I don't want to compare to G1, but it's more of a Prime looking Prime, I'll say. Yeah.
All right. I think that might actually be it for the news. So one last note for those of us who are into comics, you can go to sleep, Brad. Lost Light there are 4 issues left of Lost Light this in the series before it winds up. Now, if you're looking around on the internet, you've got to be very careful for spoilers. As you can see, 4chan. There is a thread on 4chan that has everything in Lost Light number 22. This is why I'm being very careful not to scroll away from this. It is just the cover. But holy crap. So apparently IDW may have accidentally published Lost Light 22 a week early on their website. And so, of course, as soon as it's been published, someone's just gone, yep, JPEGs of all of the pages, and stuck them up anonymously on 4chan. So the issue will officially be out next week. So just be careful, and be careful of your spoilers, because it is getting towards the business end of the series. It's going to end in issue 25. It's 4 issues to go. The end game is upon us. So be careful. Be careful out there. Right. That is it. That is it for the news anyway. I don't have any new acquisitions to talk about.
Really?
Oh, no, I do actually, but that I'm saving them, but I'm not going to be on for a few weeks, so I may as well. I got maybe against my better judgment. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I regret this choice or not, but I got the Bad Cube side swipe and yeah, I've said it. So Sideswipe is currently sitting half transformed up on the kitchen table because during the transformation, I realized that there was a piece that was actually bent out of place on it. And honestly, I don't think I bent it. When I pulled things apart and I looked at it, I was like, well, that can't. The thing that is meant to connect to that can't connect to that because it's bent out of whack by like 90 degrees. It's just a little lug. So I've taken a photograph of it, sent it off to my supplier, and we're going to see what can happen. So it's the second Bad Cube figure that's had problems.
Was that new out of the box?
It was brand new out of the box.
Cool.
So yeah. disappointed, but look, I feel like when he's actually together, he's going to be a great matchup for Sunstreaker. So I'm still excited about that. But pretty disappointing to open the box and find a piece so out of whack like that. But yeah, we'll see.
That was going from alt mode to robot mode.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So there's a point where like the shoulders click on, and one of the lugs that the shoulder clicks on is bent like 45 degrees out of whack. So yeah.
Dang.
Indeed. How about yourself? Now you mentioned earlier that you've been getting some world's smallest transformers. You wanna show us those?
I've got two here.
That's not a world's smallest transformer.
No, it's not. No, DX9, boring pocket.
Right. Yeah, they're not world's smallest transformers at all.
No, this isn't DX9.
So disappointed right now.
This is someone else.
That's the MFT, isn't it?
Yep. I don't know.
Where did you get it?
Xavier?
Saviors? It's an
Shockwave. Shockwave. He's a little chunky monkey. And
he's quite a cute little chunky monkey, isn't he?
Yeah. While I was at Nerdmania, I had the sticker sheets, and you're not going to be able to see it, but I put the Decepticon sticker on him. One of my probably straighter Decepticon or sticker application. The other figure here is DX9 Dutch, which come in this week. Trailer. It's just fantastic.
Is it not Dutch?
Dutch. When in Rome. I can't even get the bloody ramp to go down. Oh. And it's just
because there is no ramp.
Oh no, it's there. You just got to fold down the back.
Right,
I forgot.
I see.
But you've got the little. It's like a little.
So is this sold separately to the Optimus Prime?
No. He's here. Yeah, I was just going to get to the trailer first. Like, it's you got the colors, all the G1 goodness of the trailer, and then Prime itself is just. No. It just. I'm not happy with his hips, like with a little. It's
Man, I bet you'll blame Hot Rod for that as well.
Yeah, that's definitely Hot Rod's fault. But
fair enough too.
It's a great looking little Prime. The other little issue I have is the head just. I need to get a little dab of glue or something.
If you remove the head for long enough, does he turn black and white?
No, but it's interesting. Like that's pretty much cartoon accurate, as you would be. You've got ish, yeah. You got the Matrix in the chest, but if you turn the chest around and go back into what the truck mode should look like, it's more that boxy. It looks more. I prefer more of that MP10 looking box chest.
Actually, it's interesting because the way that you had it before when you so I like the fact that the options there. The way you had it set up before, it almost looked a little bit like the Reveltech Prime.
Yeah, and we definitely commented when we had photos of them come out just how small the windows are. That waist isn't tabbed in, but yeah, just sort of how small the windows are and how it's sort of more
still quite posable. Yeah, I like it.
Posable. Like you can sit there and just go like, yeah, I'm coming for you, Megatron. So yeah, for $45, that and the trailer, I'm definitely yeah, I've spent $50 on Voyager figures recently and haven't been as happy as what I have with this, but yeah, great bots.
Fair enough too.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. That is, I believe that's it, right?
Yep.
We are gonna end the show. The camera does appear to be locked on you. So that's okay.
No.
Anyway, whatevs. That's it. We did mention earlier that there's been there's been about 100 members signed up in the first month of the year. Very, very happy with that. We will be drawing the Legends Scale Iron Factory Warpath and Ultra Magnus figures shortly in the coming days. So yeah, thank you for listening. If you're watching the live record, thank you for checking us out. You'll find more about these stories and more in the run sheet. You can get in touch with us at transformersweekly.podbean.com in the Transformers Collectors Club Australia Facebook group, or on the Australian Transformers Weekly podcast page. Find us on iTunes, Pocket Casts. What's the Apple podcast one called? It's called like Podcast One or something, and other podcast catchers of choice and distinction. And the RSS feed is in the show notes. Small note about TCCA. We are run by volunteers like Brad and myself. We donate our time and money to make the club better for everyone. So our goal is to connect Transformers fans around the country. We do it by engaging the collecting community. You can join the club for just $5. It's the cost of a coffee, maybe a little bit more than the cost of a coffee, but we put that money towards appearing at conventions and doing all sorts of fun things. Not necessarily going to Supernova and Oz Comic Con, but we show up at smaller things like Nerd Mania, Comic Gong in Wollongong a few weeks ago, and we also appeared at the Adelaide Mega Toy Fair. So your membership money and your donations all help us to do that. And so we go into those places, we find more Transformers fans, and we get them to join us. So there's 3,000 people in the Facebook discussion group at the moment. They're all like 99% Australian. So yeah, help us find. Maybe we should change our goal. We want to find every Transformers fan in Australia. We're gonna go out. We're gonna comb the desert. We're gonna just walk across the desert, find everyone who likes Transformers, get them to join our group.
Does that mean I have to take 6 months off work to go driving?
No, but it does mean you need to buy a giant novelty comb like in Spaceballs. Anyway, you can find out more about Transformers Collectors Club Australia at our website, that is transformersccr.com. Please do consider donating and signing up for a membership. That is all for us. We'll be back with more Transformers news. I won't be, but the boys will be next week.
Yeah, we spend so much time in the group, we don't have time to shave, as
yes,
obvious.
Yes.
But
yes, I'm scruffy, but yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Bye, and also stop doing that.
Awesome. Night, guys.